Some people across the board, fans and members of teams alike, have said that the tears were embarrassing and that men, for some reason, shouldn't cry. And I just think that is such an antiquated, harmful idea. I do not understand why we still think that men should not show emotion, or even really where we decided which emotions were emotion that are bad and which emotions were just sort of not emotional. Like, anger is emotion. When we see drivers like Max Verstappen have extreme outbursts on the radio, or we see drivers like Liam Lawson throwing the bird, or drivers like Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg getting so angry with each other on track that they crash their own cars out and ruin both of their races. All of those things are high emotional outbursts. But for some reason, when we are talking about men or we're talking about male athletes, we seem to think that those emotions that are more outwardly harmful towards someone else, those are okay for some reason. Those are non-emotional emotions. No one's ever saying that Max is too emotional. They're saying that he is a little too angry or a little too animated. No one was saying that Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton were too emotional to be on track together, but they were talking about the fact that they were the highest level of competitors. These things, I think, really do keep men from feeling comfortable enough to express emotions that are important, because when we see something that is perhaps not as abrasive of an emotion, like crying when your life's goal that you've finally accomplished slips away in a second, for some reason that's embarrassing. For some reason that means you're not good enough to do this. For some reason we ascribe this idea of not man enough to these emotions. And I think it's harmful. I think it's antiquated, and I think it keeps people from continuing to heal and move on. I think what Isack needed in that moment and what he'll need for the rest of the week so that he can lock in and go to China and drive well is empathy, is humanity, is being told that it's fine and you will move forward. And I think these moments from sports, like I constantly talk about this extreme level of competition, what we do under pressure, what we can learn from sports when it comes to leadership and teamwork. But there's also moments like this where we can learn about empathy, when we can learn about being a good person, and where we can learn about the fact that just because someone is your competitor doesn't mean they're not also kind of a fellow human being. And so that's why I think these moments move me so much, because I think sports, especially like sports like Formula One, really operate at this level of the extreme edges of what the human body and the human spirit is capable of. And sometimes that is on the opposite side too. Sometimes that's not competition. Sometimes that's not mental toughness. Sometimes it's kindness.